Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of This Is For Real. Today, I am joined by Michael and Mitchell, and they are going to be boots on the ground very shortly for South by Southwest 2026. It is upon us. Festival season kicks off. New festival season has already kicked off with Sundance, goes right into Berlin, and now we're at South by. So movies never stop, guys. They never stop, and it's really exciting. So we are going to recap some of the films that we are very much looking forward to. I unfortunately am not going. I really wish I did because I do feel like this is one of the better lineups that South by has had in a long time. So I will be relying on our wonderful guests to tell me what I should put on my radar, what they're looking forward to, what they're going to see. So let's just get into it. Michael, tell me about South by, man. I think this is both of your guys' first time, so we'll just start with you. Just kind of tell me about your relationship with South by, if you have one, and you know, kind of in general, not movie specific, but experience that you're most looking forward to.
I've never been. I've been to Austin once many years ago, but it was more just kind of a booping around looking kind of a trip. Didn't really have like a big event like this to go to. I'm excited to be in Austin for 6 days. Excited to try restaurants, look around the city a little bit more. And, this is like a really interesting slate of movies because I know so little about most of them. There's like a handful that I've seen trailers for, like heard about at other festivals and stuff. But a lot of it is going to be blind viewings, which is always a fun part of a festival. And I think like, especially at something like Sundance or South by, where a lot of these movies are getting their first introduction to the world, that always is very fun to just have no idea what I'm getting into. So yeah, no, I'm just very excited to check out the scene and meet people and eat barbecue and do all that Texas stuff.
Yeah, good old Texas barbecue. Can't beat it. Mitchell, same question to you, man.
Yeah, so like Michael, I have been to Austin before on a college visit, but I've never actually experienced something like South by Southwest. Been to other film festivals, of course, but people always say South by is a little bit different from other film festivals just because of the atmosphere there. So I think in line with your question, I'm just excited to experience it, be on Congress, be on 6th Street, experience all the bars, shops, restaurants going all out for this event because I've heard from locals it's a very all out citywide kind of event. So I'm looking forward to seeing how, Austin turns into this.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, one thing I've heard something similar where it's kind of similar to TIFF, where kind of that whole Toronto just shuts down for that first weekend to basically celebrate the festival. And so it sounds like Austin does that. One thing I do like about South by, even though I haven't attended, is just how much diversity there is. And so you guys have kind of talked about wanting to just get a vibe of the festival itself, but more than movies, like they have music, they have television, they have music videos. They have all kinds of other things like live artists and stuff. So is there anything aside from eating the good food and experiencing the scenery, and this, I'll just open this up for either one of you guys. Is there anything outside of films that you are looking forward to, food and film, that you are looking forward to maybe catching at South by?
I've booked my whole week pretty much end to end with screenings. So between that and writing, and I presume I'll get pulled into some kind of drunk adventure at some point that I need to put room aside for. It's kind of hard to say. Like I've gotten like an invite or two to like a music thing. I would maybe check that out. I'd be interested in it, but because our passes don't expand to the music stuff, really, I haven't given it a good look.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like maybe going in with too regimented of a plan could backfire when fun opportunities arise.
Absolutely. I feel you heavy on that drunk adventure. That's probably going to be me one evening on that weekend too. So I feel you on that. But I am excited because I have heard the comedy and music is like the film where it kind of fosters and supports independent artists and people from underrepresented communities. So I'm looking forward to that. For some reason, South by actually gave me a platinum badge this year, which I think is access to everything, which I was shocked to find out. I was like expecting film. I'm like, oh, we get everything, I guess. So I'm looking forward to maybe kind of wandering around, seeing, nothing in particular, but seeing maybe there's an event happening like right next to me. Maybe I just wander in there and see it. But yeah, I do feel Michael on the fact that I try to make myself regimented on like a schedule of films that I'm seeing. But again, I've heard that South by is something where you can have a plan, but it's not always going to shape up to be like your plan actually ends up being. It's a lot of like go with the flow, kind of go as you go along, find stuff to do. So I'm looking forward to like seeing stuff I'm excited for, but also discovering something I wasn't expecting going in.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I don't know if my OCD scheduling brain could handle the go with the flow film festival going. As most of you know, both Thomas and I are obsessed with getting that schedule dialed in, and we have more schedules than we could probably manage. I did feel like I let go a little bit at Sundance this year, and that felt pretty good. So that sounds pretty exciting to just kind of have a kind of an open, like, hey, let's just see what happens. I like that. I wish my brain worked that way. That'd probably be more fun to open your mind to drunken experiences in Austin.
But make no mistake, right now my schedule's packed end to end.
Okay.
It's gonna be maybe some like cancellations if things get a little weird. But like as it currently stands, I'm in screenings from dusk till dawn.
Yeah, for sure. That's the way I do it. That's my festival life. So I had a question for you guys. So we're gonna get into the actual lineup and what you guys are most excited about. But I did want to ask how was the ticketing? How was the scheduling? That seems to be the bane of existence for all festivals, no matter which one it is. And so I was curious, what was it like trying to secure tickets, build your schedule, do that kind of stuff? So Mitchell, I'll actually start with you.
Yeah, so I had kind of seen different things over the last few years about how it was past run. I know they did some like express passes or something that were like cut the line basically, and the rest of it was like badge holders got like first access, secondary access, things like that. Heard it had a lot of issues and some outrage for people who didn't get into certain things. So this year they actually transitioned to a reservation system where supposedly if you have a reservation for a film, you get there, I think, 40 minutes before it starts, and you should get a seat. And then you can also get in with your badge access in a general standby line. But they opened 2 windows. The first one was for press and platinum, I think, a few weeks ago. And then they just recently opened one for film and TV and platinum. The first one, people were kind of mad because the website kept crashing in classic film festival ticketing fashion. But a pro tip I learned on Reddit, of all places, is people were getting reservations on the phone app. So halfway through, I said, you know what, forget the website, just going on the phone app, secured everything I needed. So that's a pro tip, I guess, for future South Bys. If you're not getting tickets on the website, the phone is the way to go.
Nice. That's how we do it at TIFF too, actually. I'm online and on the phone at the same time, and whichever one goes first, that's where I'm getting my tickets. Michael, how about you? How was the scheduling and ticketing for you?
The way they had the scheduling on the site to like pre-make it was really helpful. That I had everything dialed in. I had what I wanted to get ready to go, and then the website went to shit. So that was not terrific, especially being up at 7 o'clock in the morning to get these. I was, not in the best mood. So it was just, not the great. That was not the highlight, I would say. I at that time didn't realize that I could also use the mobile app, which is a hot tip. But the second opening this Thursday was pretty good. And, once you've braved the American Cinematheque website to get tickets to Beyond Fest, there's no website that could shake you. That American Cinematheque website is the most broken artifact I've ever seen in my life. Like the way that I managed to get Beyond Fest tickets is literally psychotic. So, compared to that, it was pretty smooth. There was like a little point at the beginning where I had a ticket to just I Love Boosters on the first day, and then just like nothing else was working. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be in Texas for 6 days and see one movie. Gotta milk it for all it's worth, I guess. But we got it done.
Listen, I gotta tell you, putting I Love Boosters at the top of your schedule, and if that's all you had, I'd actually probably say that's worth it, because when we talk about some of the most anticipated movies from the festival, which we're going to get into right now, I Love Boosters is right up at the top of my list personally. I can't wait for that movie to come out. I am so excited. I love Boots Riley. I think Sorry to Bother You is just an incendiary piece of cinema. And I am just so excited to see what he does. So let's just dig into it. I know we're kind of talking about I Love Boosters, but I kind of want to know what you guys are most looking forward to. What are some films that are kind of top of your list? So, Michael, obviously, I Love Boosters is one of them since you since you started your schedule with that. But yeah, talk me through just a couple of highlights that you're just really looking forward to.
Yeah, so I Love Boosters is huge. That's one of my upper tier anticipated movies just for the entire year. It looks like Boots doing like Josie and the Pussycats vibes, which is just incredible. Can't wait. Ready or Not comes out like a week later, so it's not that big of a deal to see it early, but it's exciting because I do love the original.
I feel like that one's just gonna absolutely crush at a
oh yeah,
like absolutely. 9:00 at night in the heart of Austin. Like people are gonna go ape shit for that movie.
Well, I'm going to the 11 a.m. showing the next day because I just figured that would be a little easier to get tickets to, and I was right. But I'm sure that both of them will be popping. And then on a different, besides Boosters, my four most anticipated I'm watching on the same day. So it's Ready or Not 2, and then it's John Carney's Power Ballad. I'm a big fan of Once and Begin Again and Sing Street's John Carney, and it's another kind of musician comedy with Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas. And then I'm seeing Obsession and Hokum back to back, which is pretty hype. Two horror movies that I know people have seen Obsession and nobody's seen Hokum yet, but just two very hyped horror movies that I'm really psyched to see a little bit early. And then there's a few others that I'm looking forward to, but I'd say those are my main five.
Yeah, I can tell you as someone who saw Obsession at TIFF, y'all are not ready. That movie rips. That movie is so good. I'm like, oh god, I can't wait to watch it again. I can't wait to write about it. So, and the Hokum, I actually just saw a trailer for this, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I actually had no idea that John Carney had another movie that was at South by. So that's fun. Thank you for that. Mitchell, how about you? Yeah. Run down some of your kind of top fours.
It's funny because our Saturday schedules are the exact same. Ready or Not to Power Ballad to Obsession to Hokum, just back to back. I cannot wait to do that. Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. Yeah, definitely excited for Hokum. I saw the trailer like a few days before reservations opened, and it scared the heck out of me, for lack of a better term. And I knew I needed to see it with a packed South by crowd. It's one of those movies playing at 10 o'clock at night. Going to be so much fun to kind of just sit there and take it all in. But I'd say outside of that, there's a movie that I'm seeing the first night called Pizza Movie. At first glance, I didn't really know what this was going to be, but then I found out it is about apparently college kids in a dorm who create their own drug. And the entire movie is their journey down flights of stairs to grab pizza that they ordered an hour before, and they're tripping out the entire time. I said to myself, you know what? That sounds like execution I need to be there for and just see how that shapes out, because it could either be bad, could be amazing. We don't know. We'll find out shortly, I guess. But outside of that, I'd also say there's a movie called The Fox that I was intrigued by. It has Jai Courtney in it and is apparently about a man who meets a talking fox played by Sam Neill from Jurassic Park. So that was enough for me to say, okay, that seems like the type of out-of-pocket stuff I'm here for. But yeah, echoing everything you said, that Saturday slate is just so packed. I can't believe that all just lines up perfectly, because it's going to be 4 insane movies back-to-back that I cannot wait to check out.
Well, the funniest part to me is Power Ballad as the palate cleanser, but only sort of in the middle. Just Ready or Not is not the most intense of those 3 horror movies, but you sort of get a vibe reset with Power Ballad into the 2 really wacky ones. Pizza Movie sounds good. I hadn't really. It's so interesting with these festivals is I thought I was really on top of looking into everything, and clearly I had tunnel vision because there are just things I missed, because I would love to see the pizza movie. Absolutely. Perhaps not over I Love Boosters, but
yeah, no, for sure. So let's take a look at we're not going to go through every section, but I was just kind of digging through it a little bit. Actually, I had no idea Poetic License was coming to South by.
It's 2 days too late for me to it's I'm leaving on the Wednesday, I think. And so I'm missing a couple that I would have loved to see, They Will Kill You and in
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Poetic License is good. It's really good. I got some issues with one of the characters and just the way they're written, but Feldman and Hoffman are just another like beautiful comedy duo, and I want them to just do these kinds of buddy cop comedies all day long. Like just make a million of these movies because I think they're really fun. So if it's not on your radar, definitely put those on your radar. So I kind of want to just take through the headliners for a little bit, and then we'll get into kind of some of your guys' off the beaten path, some things that are like a little bit more tailored to your own personal sensibilities. Because I'd really love to hear about some of the films that you guys want to highlight that aren't necessarily the marquees. So we'll get through the marquees first, and then we'll start talking about the little deeper cuts in the lineup. So obviously we have I Love Boosters, which we talked about. Is anybody trying to see Mike and Nick and Alice?
No. Yeah, exactly. Over my dead body. No interest.
It releases on Hulu. Yeah. It releases on Hulu like within a few weeks after it premieres. So I said to myself, you know what? I'll pass.
Yeah. That's fair. This movie stars Vince Vaughn, James Marsden, Eliza Gonzalez, who's actually the reason I want to see the movie because I just think she's gorgeous. I just need someone to use her right. And I don't know that they have, but I keep trying.
Guy Ritchie's going to do it again in a month later after South by in that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and Henry Cavill.
Oh, so, is she in that?
Yeah, she's in every Guy Ritchie movie now.
Oh, that's right. They're the closest they got to doing the best with her was the Ungentlemanly Men or whatever that movie was. Movie wasn't good, but she was great in that movie.
Yeah, they're buddy now. I don't know what happened. They made 3 movies in a row together.
Well, put that girl over. She needs it. It's funny you said over your dead body because the next one is Over Your Dead Body. So is this on either one of your guys' lists?
It's not, purely because of scheduling, and I'm so bummed. I really want to see it. I really hope I can somehow.
Yeah, I'm seeing it, I think, not the first few screenings. It's like at the Zach Theater, like later on in the weekend. It was like an early morning showing. So I said, why not? It should be fun. Maybe it'll wake me up for the rest of the day because I've heard it's pretty intense or seems pretty intense. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah,
I just love Jason Segel in darker roles too.
I do too, and I stand real hard for Samara Weaving.
Oh, absolutely.
She is one of those performers. Not to tangent too hard, but she is one of those performers where even if the movie is bad, she's good in it. And typically, like if the movie is bad, it doesn't deserve whatever it is she's giving to it. And I could watch her in literally anything.
And the movies she's in are often bad.
Yeah, that is true. She's got a weird, but she's so good at whatever it is she's doing.
She's got that curse, like that a couple people have, where they're just like incredible actors, but just they either just have bad taste or bad agents or something. Yeah, she's just. Although I know she was in something. I don't know. Did you see it, Tiff? The thing where she was like in a Bonnie and Clyde style.
So that one's called Carolina, and I loved that movie. Absolutely loved it.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, I actually really, really, really dug that. So I think that's out of the last 3 that were kind of back to back. If you take out like Ready or Not and you take out Over Your Dead Body, which we all haven't seen yet, but if you take those out, she did Carolina, Caroline, Eeny Meeny, and Borderline. Only one of those is good.
They all sound fake. That's Eeny Meeny. I know the movie. It's like a Baby Driver like knockoff, but I think I didn't watch it because it's called Eeny Meeny.
It's fair. That's fair. Yeah. It's funny. I know this. I didn't mean to turn this into a Samara Weaving conversation, but
please let it be.
I do feel like she works almost as much as Josh O'Connor. The movies just aren't as good, which is why we don't talk about it enough. Okay, moving on. Next one on the headliner list is Pretty Lethal. Anybody have this on the radar?
I do have Pretty Lethal, and I also have Forbidden Fruits, which to me at a glance seem very similar.
Yeah.
Kind of diva horror movies. I really know barely anything about either of them. I've seen the trailer for Forbidden Fruits, and I saw that Pretty Lethal is an Amazon Prime movie, which sort of makes it less exciting to me, to be honest. But but I know Uma Thurman's in Pretty Lethal, and they're all bloody and in these white dresses, and I'm sure it'll be some absolute diva business. That's pretty much all I've got on it. Good title.
Yeah.
That's what.
Mitchell, what about you? Pretty Lethal.
Yeah, I was toying around with this one because I was so intrigued by the stills released and the kind of premise of ballerinas fighting crime and just all bloody romps like that. But again, I had to limit myself down, like Mike and Nick and Alice before, where I said to myself, I want to prioritize movies that aren't going on streaming a few weeks later, and maybe it's like the only opportunity to really see that with a crowd. So I'd said I'm going to pass on that. Unfortunately, if I had a little bit more time, definitely would have loved to sneak it in. But I know it's going to be probably a blast to watch.
Yeah, we'll see if I make that. That might be one where I don't make it, or I switch it. You never know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did Derek freeze? I think he did.
I think he did. Yeah.
Woof. Oh, there he goes. Can they edit these things, or are they? Is it just stuck?
I've never experienced this before.
Oh no, it's so rough.
Guess we'll learn together.
Yeah, exactly. Guess we'll just give it a minute. Rip Derek. Oh, okay. He said he's coming back in a minute.
Yeah, Ready or Not 2 is one of those ones where I'm like, I would love to experience like the premiere that one night, but I said there was no way I was getting into that. Like,
yeah, it's such a headliner that I was gonna go. Like, it does come out like a week later, which is kind of like,
yeah.
But like, I feel like that's like one of the biggest ones. Like,
for sure,
there's no way to go and not. It even just like from a coverage standpoint, like it just, you got to do it.
Right.
You got to do it. There are so many of these that I just like know nothing about. I like saw actors I like, and I went, okay, vibe. Like there's like a handful that like I would say there's like a small handful that I have any knowledge of whatsoever beyond like the most cursory plot summary.
That's gonna be me when we go to like narrative and documentary feature competitions. I'm just gonna be like, love the actors, could tell you nothing about this movie.
Right.
Good on them for getting into South by. Yeah.
That's the best though, because then you just see some random thing and then suddenly you're annoying everybody for a year. Like, get ready. When this thing that I saw 3 years ago comes out, it's gonna blow your mind. Oh, his computer's rebooting.
Nice.
Fancy. I wonder if there's going to be any like secret screenings.
So someone was saying, I don't know if they filled it yet, but that Saturday night, there's nothing, or that Sunday night actually, there's nothing scheduled at the Paramount past 7:00, which is when a screening ends.
Oh.
So people were like, I don't know if they filled it. I know they filled it was the same thing with Monday night, but they filled it with I think the movie Basic, which I know nothing about, but it was in like the festival spotlight section. But I don't think they filled Sunday. So if there was going to be something happen,
that feels that feels ominous. But like, I know that there was a miscommunication about Disclosure Day maybe showing, which would have been, I would have had
insane.
I would have had to freak it out. I would have had to switch them around the whole schedule if that happened.
Good luck getting reservations for that one if that happens.
I know.
Crazy.
Well,
I'm already like, I don't know even if I'm going to try to get that Steven Spielberg conversation when they open up on March 5th. I'm just like, I'll get on, but if it's like crashing, I'm giving up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It would be. Where do you live?
I'm in Cincinnati.
Oh, gotcha. I live in LA, and this is not like to be like whatever. If I really like wanted to see Steven Spielberg, I could make that happen.
Yeah, right.
Like I could find some award event or deadline contenders
or a Q&A screening or something like that.
No, literally, like I know I sound like such an asshole saying that, but like it's really not that. It's just more like it is just so possible to do it if you just like put your head together. Like I think he was stumping for Hamnet this year. I think was his pet project this year. But
sure.
he's always got something in the mix like that.
Yeah.
And I guess this year he'll be trying to win an Oscar for Disclosure Day. Which
we'll see.
The trailer wasn't really giving Oscar winner, but
it was not. It looks fun, but I don't know beyond that what it will shape up to be.
Yeah, a little seems a little like disposable. But
yeah,
I could be wrong. I definitely. I would. Oh man, if it's that Sunday night, it's Normal and Crashland. I could fuck that all up if I have to.
Yeah,
that's easy. But like, I feel like there's just like any number of things. Like, what was the one that I was thinking? Oh, I want the drama.
Oh yeah, I was surprised that A24 doesn't have any movies in South by this year.
Guess they're trying to buy something. Because they're trying to buy something, probably.
Yeah.
That's what it is. My dream secret screening would be the drama.
That would be awesome.
I feel like
from what I've heard, that would be like the crazy thing that would play over so well with that crowd.
Oh, I know. I'm honestly shocked that it's not there.
Yeah.
Like it really feels like such a good fit. It's such a good fit, and it's so close. I really feel like something could happen.
Right, yeah. Hopefully.
But like, I feel like it could be that, or it could be Project Hail Mary.
People were saying that, and I'm like, oh, I wish it was something else. Not to sound like I don't want Project Hail Mary, but it's like that comes out the weekend after.
Right. Yeah. No, totally. I love Project Hail Mary, the book. So like, I'm dying to see that. But
I actually think I'm seeing that on Wednesday.
Oh, fun! I don't have that motion with Amazon yet.
I just go where the emails tell me to.
No, I hear you. I'd be there, but I don't have that motion with them yet. But
yeah,
they should invite me because it would be a very positive review in all likelihood. Oh,
he's back.
There he is. Maybe.
Hopefully. There we go.
So I wouldn't say that what occurred would be great podcast material. I don't know if you can edit these or what.
I'm sure we can. I'm sure we can. Let's see. Hold on. Let me make sure this is. Just do that. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, where were we? We were talking about Pretty Lethal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's just gonna have to stitch this together. Sorry. Mitchell, were you telling me about you have Pretty Lethal on there? Or you weren't doing it on there?
Yeah, I decided not to do it because I saw it was like a Prime Video release, I think the weekend after, and like kind of like the Mike and Nick and Alice from before. I was like weighing my options. I kind of want to check out, maybe something that's off the beaten path that maybe I won't have an opportunity to see as easily again. So I had to make a sacrifice there, but I know it's probably going to be a lot of fun. So wish I was there in spirit.
Yeah, for sure. This looks like the ballerina that was promised. That's what this feels like when I see the trailer. So
I was just thinking that they love to make like not every, but like so many of the like action movies where they're like, it's gonna be about women. They're like, what if it was a ballerina? Their dancing is their fighting. So we've done it. We've done it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do. We're gonna do both of these together because I think they're actually pretty close. So let's talk about Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, which I kind of feel like you should just drop the 2. It's cleaner. And then and They Will Kill You, because I actually feel like they were filmed in the same house when I watched the trailers. So yeah, I know probably Ready or Not is on your list, and then I think Mike, you had said that They Will Kill You comes out a little later. But yeah, tell me if you guys have these ones on, if you're looking forward to them, if you're going to see them.
Yeah, I do not have plans because I leave that Tuesday, that morning, and it premieres that night, unfortunately. So I am really tragically sad about that, but we'll have to make sacrifices somewhere. I know it comes out pretty recently or soon after it premieres at South by, so I will definitely be there day one. I don't know. I'm intrigued to see how crazy it can get because the trailers were definitely crazy. I'm excited to see with its inclusion at South by. Maybe it'll have some incredible action sequences that we're just not expecting. Looks like a ton of fun already. I think that will play really well with that crowd there.
Yeah, I think it comes out the week after Ready or Not, which is very funny.
Interesting.
I think it looks really cool, and I love Zazie Beetz, and I'm excited to see her lead something like this. I was sort of getting the impression from the trailer that they put all their money shots in the trailer. So I'm curious because like I'd love for it to be just like really relentless and bloody, and I kind of like that it's I don't kind of like it. I love that it's more of a fight movie than Ready or Not is. But I wonder, just because Zazie Beetz is not a martial artist, if they shot some great stuff and then maybe the rest of it is kind of filler. But I'll be eager to hear what everybody else thinks for sure. And then Ready or Not, banger, I'm sure. Sarah Michelle Gellar, sold.
Yeah, I love the first one. Yeah.
My partner and I have been watching Buffy. I'm seeing it for the first time. And it's so long that we've been watching it for over a year, and we're still in the midst of season 6. Dark times. But I just like
it does get a little muddled there in the middle.
I just like getting to see her in something like this. So while watching Buffy is exciting too.
Yeah, cool. So are there any other? I'll ask this directly to you guys. Are there any other kind of big marquee movies that you have on your schedule that you are excited to see? So Mitchell, I'll start with you.
Yeah, on my schedule there's definitely a few that I saw, Leviticus being one of them, and other stuff that played at Sundance that I missed that I said, okay, that played well there. I'm excited to see how it plays here. Leviticus especially, I've heard nothing but good things about that movie. I've heard it's a really visceral horror movie that is very unlike anything else people have seen before. I'm intrigued to see how that carries over to a festival crowd like South by Southwest. And then also, speaking of Sundance, I know a little bit about this movie, not much though. It's called The AI Doc. I know it's produced by Daniel Kwan, who I know from Everything Everywhere All at Once. I've heard mixed things about it, so I knew I need to go see it for myself. I'm excited for it because I think it's a very intriguing conversation. I'll be curious to see how they kind of broach that in that film.
Mitchell, just real quick, this is probably the 4th documentary I've seen about AI, and it's by far and away the best.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think even if you come away from it feeling like, ooh, I don't, I'm staunchly against AI. I resent the fact that it's just ubiquitous in my life, whether I want it to be or not, both personal and professional. So I never actively engage with it, but unfortunately, it is just kind of unavoidable. There's almost no way to do it unless you just turn off all technology, and everything I do is based on technology. So, but what I can tell you is I do think it's the best crafted of all of them, and I do think that Daniel Rohert in general is really trying to answer more existential questions, and I feel like he's always ahead of the audience. So people who I found myself when I was sitting there going, okay, but what about this? And then literally the next segment is him going, yeah, okay, but what about this? And then he brings experts or other people. So he does a really good job in kind of balancing everything out. Obviously no one wants to hear Sam Altman talk, but he got him to sit down and ask some probing questions and really tries to get some stuff. And you can roll your eyes at whatever he says, and that's probably fine. But I think what Roher does is really good. So I'm glad you have that one on your list for sure. So Michael, what about you? Any other big marquee movies you're kind of looking forward to?
There's one that I'm really curious about. It's called Kill Me. It has Charlie Day, and it's about a guy who wakes up in a bathtub with his wrist slit, but he didn't attempt suicide. So he has to investigate like who framed him for his own suicide, which just like sounds very It's Always Sunny, but also maybe just like a little somehow a little bit darker. And the idea of like Charlie Day being in something like that is very exciting to me. Then I would say, just like in terms of cast, seeing Jessica Roth in a genre movie like Imposters is very exciting to me. Buddy, the strange horror movie by the guy who made Too Many Cooks, if I'm not mistaken.
So real quick, Buddy is another one I've seen at Sundance, and I remember 20 minutes into Sundance, into that premiere, I was like, why isn't this at South by Southwest? So sure enough, it's going to South. That's one of the movies that was on the list that just South by is going to eat that movie up. It's a lot of fun.
That's my last movie. That's my finale.
Nice.
Buddy.
Yeah, Buddy's fun. Buddy's a good time.
And then let's see. There's a kind of horror movie with Kevin Bacon, family movie.
I was just looking at that, and I was like, damn, this looks. I definitely want to see this.
Yeah, no, that really sounds great. And then there's a couple that I'm feeling a little bit more neutral on, or I just know nothing about them and I just picked them because I went, oh, I like that person, and that was pretty much all. But you know, maybe those will end up being my favorite of the whole week. So we'll have to see.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's take a couple minutes and I'll highlight for each one of you guys. Why don't you guys give me a couple of deep cuts? I think you guys have kind of gone over some of them, but these can be from any section. They do not have to be headliners or narrative features. They can be docs, midnighters, anything that we haven't talked about that you think is like, kind of like the family movie is a good example where I had no idea that was even a movie that was existing. So Mitchell, I'll kind of start with you. Just kind of look through your schedule and see if there's some that are like, hey, this movie's made for me. This is what I want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. There was one that I'm seeing, I think, on that Friday night. I booked it because I loved the actors inside of it. I'm trying to remember what it was called. I think it's called Drop, or not Drop. Let me see. Drag. Drag is what it's called. It is about, I believe, bank robbers where one of them throws out their back halfway through a heist, and the entire movie is them trying to escape before the homeowners come back, which on paper sounds very ridiculous, but it could be made tense and very unrelenting. So I'm excited to see how it plays it out. If it plays it more comedically or more dramatically inclined, it'll be curious to see what that result is whatsoever. I already mentioned the fox just because of the premise alone. I mean, a talking fox guiding a guy through life. I mean, it's the kind of unabashedly crazy thing I'm here for, and I can't wait to see how they do that. And then I am doing a movie that I'm walking in knowing next to nothing about called The Saviors. That stars Adam Scott. So I'm going straight from Hokum the night before to a calm, more level-headed Adam Scott movie. So that'll be interesting to see how that translation happens for me. But I know nothing about it. I just knew that it was something that was free in my schedule. Looked pretty intriguing, so I decided to book it for sure.
I'm going to make a wild guess. I'm seeing The Saviors too. That it is not going to be calm. If I know one thing about Danielle Deadwyler, she loves to be in a stressful movie. She's never happy.
Right? Like, we need to let that woman be happy. I agree, because
that's the bear. That's the one time.
She's another one where, like, I will stand for. I will see anything that she's in.
Definitely.
But I'm like, can we get this woman to smile? Okay, all right. We have breaking news for this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, Luca has arrived.
Hi!
Hello, good sir.
Totally didn't get too wrapped up in my review of Hoppers. Hey guys, what's up, everybody?
I'm so glad you could hop on. Sorry, I'll you know what? I quit.
That was fantastic. No, that was great. That was great.
Excellent work.
Well, no, hey, thank you so much for joining us, Luca. You actually caught us right as we were about to dig into some deep cuts and just kind of go through the schedule. But since you are here, why don't you just kind of walk us through real quick some of the marquee big headliners that you are seeing or that you're kind of looking for?
So I think one of them that's really caught my eye, and I've been trying to kind of look towards kind of just outside the US a little bit. Well, not a little too far outside because this is South by Southwest. So I've been looking at these two movies. This one movie called Over Your Dead Body, which is directed by Jorma Taccone from The Lonely Island. It stars Samara Weaving, who is also going to be at the fest for Ready or Not 2, and Jason Segel, who is going to be in the movie as well. It's based on a Russian movie called The Trip, which is about a couple that goes on a retreat, and it turns out that they both have plans to kill each other at their couple's retreat. I think there's some promotional material about it right now, but I'm going to try to stay away from it just so I can watch the Russian movie beforehand. But on the topic of Russian movies, Russian filmmaker Kirill Sokolov is coming to the festival with this movie called They Will Kill You with Zazie Beetz, which looks like, I don't know, I feel like it's reductive to compare it to The Raid because it's like a horror or action movie in a building, but it does look kind of like The Raid. Kirill Sokolov made this kind of like Meet the Parents horror comedy action film called Why Don't You Just Die, which is insanely violent. And I'm glad to see that he's getting kind of this big budget. He's getting his big break in Hollywood, kind of similar, but hopefully better than Timo Tchahanto's Hollywood debut from Nobody 2. So I'm looking forward to those a lot.
Luca, I'm actually really glad because I won't be there. We've already established that I won't be at South by. But you giving me two pieces of Russian cinema to do research on before I see these movies, because I think they both come out in March or April.
Yeah, they're coming out pretty soon.
But I'm going to let one of you vamp here in a second, and then I'm going to add them to my Letterboxd watch list so that I can make sure I track down The Trip and Why Don't You Just Die. So thank you for that. So, okay, yeah, no, those are great ones. And then I'll just ask you, since you kind of came on later, but how have you felt about the kind of ticketing and scheduling? How has that been for you?
Well, this is my first time doing a South by Southwest, so I will say that it's been kind of interesting just because, again, like I'm kind of used to the way that TIFF does it, where there's like specific days based on, I don't know, it's kind of pay to win at TIFF, so I kind of like that South by you get a few more chances. But it was a little more difficult because honestly, again, first time, but I've never been to a film festival where most of it is just kind of conducted through an app that you download on your phone. Like, again, not to harp on TIFF, but it's really putting things into perspective of how difficult TIFF is. Like, we have to go through all these hoops with Ticketmaster and resales and reselling and boosted prices and the premiums and all that bullshit. And it's essentially price gouging at the People's Festival, which is kind of stupid. And I know like the other side to that is that like the film and TV badge, like it costs it's not cheap at South by Southwest, but like after going through maybe 4 years of Ticketmaster hell and seeing like some of maybe the worst movies I've seen on festival slates sell tickets for $200 a pop, I'm honestly, this is miraculous to me.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. So I think Michael. So I'll ask you. So what are some kind of just hidden gems or things that you're kind of looking forward to that aren't necessarily on the marquee, but are just movies that you're like, hey, I think this one's going to speak to me?
Well, I genuinely don't know what's going to speak to me because I can't predict that. I think I'm going to love things I hate and vice versa. There's this movie called Crashland that has Gabriel Lavelle and Finn Wolfhard that sort of sounds like Son of Rambo with adults, where like it's like these two over the hill like guys trying to make an independent film. I found out that was what it was about. Like from the picture, I thought it was like going to be like Action Park or like something where they're building a theme park. Apparently, that's not what it is. There is this movie with Hannah Einbinder called Seekers of Infinite Love, and I saw Hannah Einbinder and got the ticket. And then there's a documentary about Phoenix Jones, who is a guy who actually believes himself to be a superhero, and I've always heard about him, and I've always wanted to learn more about him, but I haven't had the chance to yet, so that's exciting. And then the last one that I'm not sure if I'm going to see, but like in terms of the festival, but I'm hoping to get a screener. It's called Black Zombie, which is about the Haitian roots of the zombie genre. It's a documentary.
Interesting.
So that's I'd say those, and then I have a couple little ones like Brian with I'm blanking on his name, Ben Wang. Who I think is in the little spurts of him I've seen, I think very talented young actor. So I pretty much just got the ticket for him, even though I couldn't remember his name. And that's pretty much it. I think I've pretty much said everything that's on my screening list anyway.
Okay, all right. And then I'm so sorry. The distraction from Luca, Mitchell. I asked you this question, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, all right, good. I just want to make sure we're all included, okay? I want to do my job as a host. All right, so Luca, kind of same question to you. So I know we kind of already went through pretty much all the headliners, before you got here. So we've knocked out all of those. But yeah, what are just some ones that you have on your schedule that you're really looking forward to that aren't a part of like the marquee, that are a little deeper cut?
Well, I'm really glad that Michael mentioned Crashland, because that is kind of like a Canadian-American co-production, because we got, Finn Wolfhard, Canadian, Gabriel LaBelle, American. It's by the Brick Brothers, who did this movie from TIFF a couple years ago called Hell of a Summer, which was not great, but whatever. I'll make an excuse. They're 20-year-olds making a directorial debut, and it's also produced by Matt Johnson, who did Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie as of recent, and Matthew Miller, who's done like all of Matt Johnson's projects, but also some other Canadian projects outside of Nirvana. And I actually did an undergrad paper on the Haitian roots of zombies, so I'm going to be seeing Black Zombie as well. But some of the more lesser known cuts. I saw this on the list and I thought it was so stupid that I had to pinch myself. Kevin Bacon and his wife are directing a movie called Family Movie, which is a horror movie about a family of horror filmmakers, an indie studio horror family filmmakers, and it stars Kevin Bacon, Kyra Sedgwick, his wife, and their 2 kids. And it's all about the production of a horror movie, and a dead body shows up on set. I don't really expect it to be like great, if even good, frankly, but like, come on, dude. It's like the whole Bacon family doing a horror movie together. I don't know. Like, I feel like if I was Kevin Bacon, I'd be doing that with my kids. And my second movie, I've been trying to watch more documentaries this time around. So that's why Black Zombie is in my list as well. But I saw just like a still of this on the South by Southwest website, and it looks so interesting. It's a documentary about a Army veteran who does parkour and scales buildings and does photography. It's called Drift. I don't really know much outside of just the synopsis they gave us, like just what I said and just some of the photos I've seen of his online. But I don't know. I think there's something about just scaling tall buildings that inherently frightens me. So I kind of just want to face my fear in the movie theater. So yeah, I think those are going to be pretty fun. There's one more. It's this little comedy called Pizza Movie with Gaten Matarazzo and Gaten Matarazzo, the 2 of them, and it just looks dumb, but like fun dumb. Like it's like a stoner comedy about getting a pizza. Like I was just watching Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas last night with my friend, and I think that'll be a good segue.
What an inspired choice.
I think probably the second best of the trilogy. The Guantanamo Bay one is pretty unwatchable.
That's a rough watch. I have a couple of DVDs in my physical media collection that I regret, and that is definitely one of them for sure.
I consider the first Harold and Kumar to be like documentary quality for stoners.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
We'll get a criterion of that at some point. probably the whole trilogy.
Yeah, just the first one. Yeah, Justice for Stoner Comedies. So we're gonna kind of we'll close down here in a few minutes, but so I just kind of want to ask you guys just overall, and this can just be an open discussion for this, but I want to ask you guys overall, how do you guys feel about this lineup? I know for a lot of you guys, I think Luca, you too, this is your first South by, but I would imagine you guys have all seen kind of some of the South by lineups in previous years. You may have gotten a couple of screeners from previous years. So just kind of talk about the festival overall, about the lineup, and how you think it compares to two parts to this question. So how you think it compares to previous years in South by, and what you think this says for kind of the fun side of 2026 in cinema.
Well, I'll start it off by just saying that I go to, or as of recent, or not as of recent, just in general, like I go to the more of like the, I don't know, the pinky up film festivals. You know, TIFF is where all the big sales happen and stuff like that's where in 2024, that's where like Queer got bought and The Brutalist got bought and Friendship got bought. And Chuck too, The Life of Chuck. Like that was like, it was like a feeding frenzy in 2024. And, you know, Sundance is, you know, like, it's not really like that, but you know, you always see like one Oscar nominee come from it. Like, I don't know, like 2024, you had A Real Pain. This year we have Train Dreams. So again, but like that's kind of the festivals that I've been going to. I haven't been going to festivals where again, like you'll see a movie by Kevin Bacon and his wife and his entire family where they're making a horror movie together. And I think that's kind of the change of pace I want. Because for real, I cover mostly the midnight stuff. So it's basically just, I basically just do genre movies and sometimes the occasional Oscar pick. And so this is just all genre movies. Like, I mean, unless like, look, in a justified world, hopefully, you know, Boots Riley would get nominated for an Oscar. But I really, unfortunately, don't see I Love Boosters being a contender this year. But that's fine. It'll be just for me and my goofy friends to enjoy, and that's okay. I will say what kind of worries me, and I know I'm kind of branching out of like I'm not really branching out of the film stuff because the tech stuff is kind of bleeding into the film stuff, and that's what's really concerning to me. Like I'm seeing a lot of like AI in movies and AI in TV and AI in screenwriting, and I'm like, I don't want AI anywhere near any of this. So I don't know. I think that's definitely the one thing I'm kind of raising my eyebrow towards. And like, look, I know that like South by Southwest, there is technical innovation, and like a good chunk of it is like pretty cool stuff. But I don't know. I guess the AI stuff kind of bleeding into the film lectures and stuff is a little worrying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think that, like, for me, South by is something I keep track of every year subconsciously because I will keep track of all the headliners that premiere there and the reactions. But I think what I'm looking forward to the most of this festival is really just finding those underground or underrated films in other categories that I don't go in hyped about or expecting to like really love, and discovering something that with other audience members, of course, that is really special and profound. And I think that's definitely easy for a festival like South by, where it's a lot of the programming is in that kind of baseline. So building off of everything that Luca just said, I'm just so excited to experience it and to experience, you know, a lot of what those films have to offer in those specific genre spaces.
The last festival I went to was AFI in October, which was so much fun, but it was also so much just like heavy awards bait stuff, which is, you know, I love to see it, love to get a little bit of early access, but you know, after a while I'm kind of exhausted. Just wanted to like when you're like, wow, the palate cleanser movie Jay Kelly, like when that's really like your big like come down movie. It's just not.
Was there a movie called Jay Kelly? It's a movie? Is that real? I can't.
It's a movie.
I'm sure I've seen it, but is it real? Who knows?
I waited in the standby line for 2.5 hours standing to see Jay Kelly, but that's another story. So yeah, I'm just I preferred my trip to Sundance, where the movies are just less highfalutin and there's just more of a sense of, hey, we're just watching some cool stuff. This isn't really like a competition of who's going to win Best Picture. Like, I mean, I loved AFI. Peace and love to AFI. Please let me go back. But like, I love stuff like this and Beyond Fest and Sundance, where it's just a little bit more, I think, community driven. So that's what I'm looking forward to, I would say. And I think the slate is really good. I was chatting with a friend of mine before the lineup came out, and he was kind of like, yeah, you know, I don't really think I want to go because a lot of the time it's just like 16 movies that are all coming out on streaming next week. And then like this, I think this lineup, like he saw it, he was like, damn, I should have tried. So like, yeah, no, I'm very just excited to get into it.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Like, I don't want to call it fatigue because it makes me sound like an idiot, but like, you know, like you can have the festivals where you watch Hamnet, and you can have a festival where you have like a spooky Stephen King style horror movie with Adam Scott. Like I think especially like in our field as critics, we have to keep our ears to the ground and also kind of look towards the horizon in a sense. Like we gotta I don't know, we have to see both ends of the spectrum. I think that's the end of my point here. Like there has to be coexistence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree, and I think I think this year in particular, and I think I've said this, but this does look to be one of the most robust and fun lineups I've seen from South by in a really long time. I've had some experiences with South by. I've never been able to go physically, but I've experienced some of it when they've done virtual. I've gotten a couple screeners, and a lot of times it is like that, where it's just kind of like, yeah, this is kind of like the bottom of the barrel streaming fodder that just happened to make it into a festival. And this year, I mean, look, that can absolutely happen. There's definitely some of these that are going to streaming. But even those, they look like a lot of fun. And it looks like there's a lot of big marquee names in a lot of smaller films. And I like this genre forward style. It looks like it's going to be one of the more fun festivals you're going to have this year. And to your final point there, Luca, like you need that. We need the balance, right? For every Hamnet, you need the pizza movie, right? Like we gotta balance those out a little, otherwise you'll just go crazy,
It builds character.
Yeah.
I'll just the wildest one for me was this was a combo that mentally fucked me up so much that I wrote an entire article about it. It was at AFI, and it was The Voice of Hinra Job, and then 30 minutes later, Bad Apples with Saoirse Ronan, which is about a teacher kidnapping a child.
Jesus
but it's a
Christ.
It was crazy.
No, actually, I'm with you. I'm with you on that point. I had that idea earlier when we were talking about kind of like sometimes it's nice to just kind of sit back and watch something stupid. Like before TIFF rolls around, Elevation, the distributor who kind of handles like neon stuff in Canada, they do like early screenings. So I was getting up at like 10 in the morning for like The Secret Agent and No Other Choice, and It Was Just an Accident and Surratt. And like those are some heavy ass movies for 10 in the morning. So like, maybe I just want to watch something where like Finn Wolfhard and Gabriel LaBelle try to recreate Jackass, Like
I also just think like it speaks to what we do, because like I think like for a lot of people like it would be very like mentally draining, and like if you catch the wrong movie that hits you the wrong way or triggers you the wrong way, you're like you're done for the day, and we just have to be like, all right, next, shake it off.
Yep. No, that definitely happens, man. Well, good old festival life. Well, guys, I'm so excited to have all of you guys on the ground. I can't wait to check out your coverage. You guys are going to live vicariously through me, and I'm I'm going to live vicariously through you. Sorry.
Okay. I didn't want to correct you, though.
I've already got screener links coming. I'm living through you.
We're gonna be there like, damn, I wish I was sitting in Derrick's room right now.
Refreshing my inbox, hoping a PR rep gets back to me for a screener. Yeah, no, for sure. No, and actually, to be fair, this is one of those festivals. As we've had this conversation, I'm looking at this lineup and I'm like, I should probably hit up some of these PR reps a little bit more, because a lot of these, even ones that aren't big marquee ones, a lot of these look really interesting. So this is a really great discussion. So I'm very excited to read your guys' comment and read your pieces and just kind of hear what's coming out in the ground and put more stuff on my watch list. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So I'll go around. We'll do some just kind of final thoughts of South by, and just whatever you want to tell us. If there's a movie you didn't mention, if it's an experience you're looking forward to, go for it. So this is be final thoughts on our South by Southwest. So Mike, I'll start with you.
I realized I forgot one single movie in my lineup, which is Normal with Bob Odenkirk, and I think I forgot it because I expect it to be normal. That's it. Like, I'm just kind of sitting here like I watched Nobody 2, and I was like, damn, Liam Neeson had more energy than this on Action Movie 2. So like I'm not so bought into this whole like Bob Odenkirk is suddenly an action star thing, but him switching up directors to Ben Wheatley is semi intriguing to me, and I'm sure that it'll play very well because it's like a hype. I'm like the best Ben Wheatley movie to me is Free Fire, and it sort of seems like it's in a similar vein. So that's like my big Paramount showing that day that I did forget to say. But yeah, no, just very excited to kind of dip my toe in. It's gonna be a hell of a trip for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. Mitchell, how about you?
Yeah, like Michael just said, it's going to be a hell of a trip, and I cannot wait to experience it. It's interesting, like sitting here now talking about these movies that we don't really know anything about what they hold content-wise, and it's funny to look at the future and say, "Hey, after that weekend, we're gonna experience stuff that we weren't expecting." I think that's what's so exciting about South by, and something I'm really looking forward to covering on the ground there. So yeah, just can't wait.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Luca,
I'm kind of with Mitchell. That's a great point. Like, there's not really much outside of just like trailers and like just it's like studio attachment. Like Neon's attached to Hokum. 20th Century has Mike and Nick and Alice. But aside from just like studio familiarity, which like kind of doesn't really mean anything, we don't know anything about these movies. There's no Palme d'Ors or Grand Prix to go off of, no Sundance Awards to go off of. So I think that's kind of what's so exciting about South by Southwest, that I'm kind of just realizing that like I'm really just going in as blind as I can right now. I mean, I'm going in exceptionally blind. I've never even been to Texas outside of a 30-minute layover. So, this is going to be a lot of new stuff for me all at once, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, guys. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. Again, very much looking forward to all of your guys' content. And so, Michael, tell everybody where they can find you.
I write for Real and Film Obsessive and Merry-Go-Round magazine. I am the king of Burbank on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, sort of, and Letterboxd.
Awesome. Mitchell?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at Movies with Mitchell, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at MoviesWMitch, and then also my written article pieces are on fox19.com/MitchellDavey.
Cool. And Luca?
You can find me at Luca M8A at everywhere you use social media at, and you can find my reviews at thisisforreal.com.
Awesome. And everybody, please be sure to check out forreal.com for all your latest South by Southwest coverage. These guys are going to do a great job, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So until next time, we will talk to you guys later.
Salud.